0, 1. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Casablanca Cargo. This is a bonus video of how I made my Tapestry fake cover junk journal cover. This is, I started out with a very sturdy paper bag, as you can see here in front of you, and everything I eyeballed, for the measurement. I knew that I wanted to be able to put the tapestry folded up into the fake cover, but not smash it down, because it is all glued down and there's things on the front. And if you saw the video I shared of the final, I don't even know, it's not really a flip through, was it? It's like a reveal, I guess. I don't know. But this is how I cut down the bag. I go from the outside. I've shared that before too, if you've seen it in my videos, so that I get a more of a straight line. So I just, as I'm going along here, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, because I wanted it to sit inside and not be, as I said, pressed down. So I was thinking, do I need a gusset, on the side? Do I use the gusset from the bags? Well, I ended up not doing that. But, it's a process. I've never exactly seen this done before, so I'm just making it up as I go along. What I just measured there and cut away is going to be the spine of my cover. And I wanted the spine to be sturdy. So this is some of the bag in the gusset. There's some gusset in there, and it's doubled over. I'm going to glue it all down with tacky glue and then cover it with brown paper just to give it, even more sturdiness. I didn't really feel like I needed cardboard, because I don't plan to put anything on top of this cover. It's just going to sit on the shelf like any other journal or a book. So I figured with the sturdy brown bag and the paper over it, it was going to work out. Now for the rest of the cover, of course I'm going to have to make it 3D. I wanted to use as much of this brown bag that I could. If I had to use all of it, I would, in taking off the handles here. And also too, I'm putting scrapbook paper on the front of the cover, and I'm putting fabric on the spine, and I'm putting on the back. When we get to that, I'll tell you what I did with that. So here I'm just eyeballing it, how wide to make it, how tall to make it, that kind of thing. So I really don't have exact measurements to give you. It's just if you ever make something like this, you just measure it for what you think you need. And again, now I'm just measuring the back end, and found that I can draw the straight line to cut down and avoid that tape, where the handle was. I don't need to worry about that. I had enough room. Cut that out and continue on. And this is conservation of materials. So I'm just going to that fold there, which was, actually it's past that fold. It is another line that I made that I will fold over the tapestry folded up into a journal. Okay, so here I am covering the paper bag now with brown paper, and I ended up using my glue stick so that I was trying to avoid wet glue in the construction of the box. I guess, yeah, it is a box, you know, the box cover. The cover box? I don't know. I use glue stick, and this is just a packing paper that comes with, you know, something you ordered. And I squared off all the corners and wrapped it like a book cover. I went back and found my folds for the cover and checked it with the spine again, you know, to make sure it still was the right folds, and continued on. So to attach the spine, I'm going to use masking tape. This is a part, the cover will never be opened, basically, so I don't need to worry about the inside of the cover and how it looks and all that kind of thing. And the masking tape was really the easiest way to attach the spine. And you know, it's not going to be like I said, it's not going to be used like a regular junk journal cover, so it'll just sit there stationary. Well, I wanted to have a fabric cover or fabrics on my spine, just for something different. So this is some fabric that I dyed. I have the video short of dyeing these little strips on the stove. The tan solid color strips was this little vest, muslin vest, that was in the box that my sister-in-law sent me. Here's a picture of it before. And I just tore off a couple of strips of the calico. And actually, here's the video of me dyeing the bits on the stove. I don't like dyeing on the stove too much, but this worked out really well for, you know, little tiny sizes of fabric in the strips. You know, they don't get all mangled and lost in the washing machine. So I put down the tan, or in this case, it was dyed with camel to mimic kind of a vintage feel to it. I used the camel Rit dye, and I had cut this vest into strips thinking I was going to sew it around the tapestry, and I ended up not doing that. So I used it here for the spine, for just the base underneath, in case some of the fabric didn't cover the paper all the way. At least I would have the muslin underneath, and if that showed through, that was fine. And it also gives the spine some more durability, you know, and strength. And at this point, I'm just using the Fabri-Tac glue. I thought about sewing it, and then I thought, well, you know, it's again, you know, it's just going to sit there. It's not going to really be manhandled too much, so the Fabri-Tac would work. And I put down 3 strips of the camel vintage looking tea-dyed looking strips. I've used camel, I've used the tan Rit dye, and you know, you just put a few drops in and you can dye your fabric. And then of course the calico, but this right here was a pillow sham that I thrifted years ago when I first started, you know, going to thrift stores looking for fabric. And I've had this one in my stash, and this, I don't know, last few months, I guess it seems like, I don't know, last few weeks, I've been reorganizing my fabric and discovering fabrics I forgot about, and this was one of them. So I thought it would look interesting on the spine. There's the calico, and the Fabri-Tac just makes it easy, you know, to add it down. Don't put too much so it doesn't seep through. And then this was a little piece of patchwork that was part of what my sister-in-law had sent me of calico, and then I used the Rit dye on it to dye it. And then as I was making my coat, I had to cut off a piece of it, and this is part of what was left. I used it for, other projects and things. And I thought that would be a cute little addition there. So there's my spine. Okay, great. Now we are coming to the portion where I'm going to make the cover. I've got all of these leftover bits, and I'm going to use this to make a collage on the front. So for the sides, I want it to appear to be, like a gilded edged paper. So I'm taking my gold Sharpie, it's like a pin, and I'm just going to make lines with my ruler on both sides. And now for the final assembling of my cover, I need to make the back side. And again, I used brown paper and the paper bag. And I explained this in the other video that I glued the stenciled piece. It was on the first brown paper, first brown paper that I stenciled it on, and I glued it on to the wrong side, basically. So I was trying to get it off the paper bag. It wouldn't come off, and I did cut around it. And I wanted to salvage it because I didn't want to go back and have to stencil everything all over again. I made a new piece to glue to the other side of the book here, the journal cover. And again, it's like, you turn it in your mind 360 degrees. What does it look like? How does it look like 180? What if I put this inside the box, outside the box? Those stupid tests from school. I could never figure them out. So here is, I also got this glue gun. I got this glue gun over the weekend. It was $3.99, and it was like the choices I had were $3.99 or $21.99. And I stood there and thought, well, how many times am I actually going to need to glue gun something? So I picked the $3.99, and the cord barely made it to the table. So I'm, as I'm making this now, I'm holding the sides, gluing them, holding them, and trying to keep the glue gun from flying off the back of the table onto my foot or onto the carpet on the floor. I know. What struggles. But eventually I got there, and I glued both sides, as you can see there on the bottom, and I glued the top hangover piece, which became the, it was a little bit longer, but not as long as the binding width on the binding side. So I can slide the tapestry in and out easily. And here it is, my journal cover box, my treasure box, my Tapestry Garage. I like that term. Glad that this is finished. I'm glad that if you have watched my videos and you've come along on the journey, I'm so thankful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.